Awesome. Well, what is going on in the insurance world with Bryant Insurance?
Well, we're always having to come up with these topics and figure it out because, it's not the easiest thing to do.
I will say, last week, you're going to be hard to top last week because that was a fun one, and I got the email about it.
Right, so that was a full campaign. We were
well done.
We were one of a very handful of agents that were tapped for that program. So
well, I'll tell you what, Darby, last week, Brad and Sonny came in here and shared something that I had no clue even existed. But there's such thing as called pet insurance. Did you know this?
I did not.
You can insure your pet, and it covers a significant amount of your veterinary expenses.
Oh.
Not for your typical, I would call it maintenance, maybe,
right?
But for your large operations,
accidents, inherited diseases. As long as it's not like preconditions. But what's really special about that company, there's a lot of insurance companies that provide pet insurance.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them go to a single source. There's one company that provides it.
Mm-hmm.
So like say Allstate, State Farm, all the major players that actually offer pet insurance, it's not their form. It's this other carrier's form. The one that came to us, it is their actual form. It's in-house. It's their program. They control it. They handle it all. There's no third party. So it is a really good program overall among all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. So that's why last week was very good. So
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what's this week? How are you going to top last week?
Well,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that we were just chit-chatting. I started thinking about we got, craft season rolling up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And craft season means Etsy sellers.
Okay, yeah.
And that's where I kind of started thinking. I was like, man, I've seen a lot of Etsy sellers with back room full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands and thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars worth of their product.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend that it started off, and she has a day job.
Right.
And then it just started off as a hobby, and before she knew it, I mean, it was a major operation.
Yeah.
She was running out of her house.
Is this somebody that we mutually know?
We don't want to go that far. I don't want to cause her any trouble with her insurance. So let's just probably,
okay,
probably,
okay.
Probably.
Well, I think we should probably go have a conversation with her.
Someone likes to watch train wrecks. Other people like to avoid them.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll let her off the hook.
Yeah. No, she knows. We've talked.
Okay.
But the thing is that people, most people besides us insurance nerds, when they start doing this kind of thing, and it doesn't have to be Etsy, that's just a really popular one.
Yeah.
But anytime you have a business in your home, it affects your insurance, your homeowner's insurance.
Sure.
Or it could. It probably does. There's lots of different insurance forms. They're all a little different on how they respond to that stuff. But I would say none of them intend to be writing a homeowner's and covering a business, a major
That's
business.
not their intent.
Right.
So what a lot of companies will do is they'll put a little ad in there to cover their own skin. Like, hey, look, we gave you a little bit of home business, but you should have had your own, so don't sue us.
Right.
And that's what a lot of these people are running off of is the don't sue us policy.
Right.
So one of the first things I looked at when we pull up these things that are like questions, $2,500 is the amount that you have in business property.
And that's on one policy.
One policy.
There's another one that's $1,500. Some of them there's none.
Yeah.
Okay.
So think about that. If you have product in your house,
right,
all you got is $1,500, maybe $2,500 at the max.
Wow.
Okay. I've seen those embroidery machines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What's
you're
one
right.
of those? Like
$5,000.
Whoo.
Yeah.
Steam press to make the little cups. All that equipment adds up.
Yeah.
And people just don't know. What they need to do is they need to call their agent if they have this. They need to call whoever has their homeowners and be like, hey, I have a business in my home. Am I covered?
Yeah, because it's possible to cover. And I guess there's three areas. The first one, with what's going on at your house, are you even eligible for a homeowner's policy?
Right.
Because, if you have say you're a chiropractor and you have part of your house, that's probably going to be excluded on a standard homeowner's policy.
Right, well, you got professional liability.
And you have people coming into your home, which is different from like the Etsy store, which is you.
Right.
So that's eligibility is a big problem. Second one's property. Third one's liability. Those are the three things you need to think about if you have a business in your home.
So would it be a separate, a separate business policy? Or
It
would
could
it
be.
be an
It could-
add-on to your home?
it
There's,
could be.
yeah, there are endorsements that
Okay.
you can add depending on your company.
Right.
Or,
And depending on the operations that you have going on in your, like an Etsy store making t-shirts, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Chiropractor, you know, that's another.
Yeah. What
Well,
if you're like working with fire and you're like doing some glass blowing?
exactly.
Exactly.
Probably gonna
Exactly.
increase your.
And so many people have side hustles now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yes.
doing lashes or nails or tanning or, like you said,
Yeah.
the Etsy. So
Right.
I guess ensure your side hustle.
Right, we just don't want, like we always say, don't wait for a claim to find out you're not covered. That's a really good way to get education. It's not a good way to get, you know. So find out
Right.
now, talk to your agent now, and at least know. You know, maybe you choose to buy the extra policy, or you choose to get the endorsement, or you don't. But at least you know
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
your limits are.
Definitely education up front, so there's no problems at the, you know, at
Sure.
the end.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, and to be upfront about it, and to know that you know it's in your best interest to have that extra coverage.
Yeah,
Because
I
the
mean-
last thing you want to do is for you know a freak accident to occur, and then you lose your side hustle, and you have absolutely no coverage.
I mean, I have a friend that we don't all know. Only I know her because she doesn't live here in Graham. But that's where I got the idea of the chiropractor. She had a reflexology type business in her home,
Sure.
and she had a policy with some direct writer that they're not great anyway. And she had me look at her policy, and not only was her home not properly covered, but her business wasn't covered at all.
Oh.
And so, I mean, it was cheap. Premium was cheap.
Yeah, right. But-
You know, but we got her a homeowners policy, and then she purchased professional liability for her business, and she never had a claim, thank goodness, but she could have, and,
Right.
you know, so it's just, you know.
Cheap does not mean better. Cheap means you get what you pay for.
You get what
Sometimes,
you.
sometimes, yeah. And we do our best to give people the best premium available, but sometimes, yeah, you just need to know, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
you just need to know ahead of time before something happens, so nobody's surprised.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, how do folks get a hold of you if they've got a side hustle that they're either
Oh man,
considering or they're
especially
already
in this, you know, this, what is that, we heard that term, gig society?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big
Yeah.
buzzword today, gig society. And if you're running a gig out of your home, you need to give us a call at 940-549-2525, or come see us at the second floor of Ciera Bank, or see us online at brianins.com.
And of course, our Hudson Oaks location is 817-770-0096, and we are at 2950 Fort Worth Highway, Suite 500 in Hudson Oaks.
awesome. Brian with a Y.
Brian with a Y.
Okay.
And not a T either.
Not
Yeah.
not a T.
Brian.
Yeah. Brian. Brian with a Y. Awesome.
All right, thank
Well,
you.
thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
get covered if you got that side hustle.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank y'all.